Welcome
This is an awesome podcast. This is one of my favorite ones.
to the Jeff
That's a lot of whiskey, Jeff.
Macolino
Jeff Macolino.
podcast. Hey, everybody, welcome to the show. Have a fun one with you today, and this is another filmmaker who has a movie just recently. Oh boy, I'm going to get fired from SNL. Recently, out on Tubi. He is a filmmaker, an actor, and a musician. Frank Palangi is the guest on today's episode. And I think I should stop talking before I get myself in more trouble. Make sure you're following on the socials. All the links are in the show notes below, as well as the links for Frank's stuff. I don't think I have anything notable to add. So let's dive into the episode, shall we? Make sure you're subscribed and rate and review, by the way. Just do the basic bare minimum free shit to help a brother out. All right. See you on the flip side. All right, everybody. I'm very pleased to welcome Frank Palangi to the Jeff Macolino podcast. How are you, Frank?
How you doing out there?
It's I just realized you're wearing short sleeves and I'm bundled up. I'm wearing sweatpants and slippers and everything. And it's probably much colder where you are than it is here.
Yes, I think it's below zero here. Yes.
I safe to say the heat is running at your house.
Yes. Yes. Where you said you don't use heat, so I can see that.
I refuse to turn on the heat. I mean, there's probably a temperature where I would change my mind, and
yeah,
I go for long walks every day.
Yep.
Today, when I started, I think it was 39 degrees, and when I got home, I was like, oh, maybe a little just to take the edge off. I'm like, no, do not do it.
Yeah. Well, what can you do, right? You got to get used to it or something, I guess.
Yeah, well, when the first time you turn on the heat, and again, maybe this is just a Florida thing because nobody uses heat often unless you're a psychopath
I was gonna say that.
down here.
How do you know if it's even working?
Well, there's that. Usually it starts blowing out cold first, and then it smells like your house is on fire.
Yep.
And then the heat finally comes, and it's like, I don't want to go through that.
Yeah, you'd have to pre-run it a couple hours. Yeah.
Yeah, if I really wanted to do it, set it, go for a walk, come back and hope the house is not on fire. I mean,
crack a little window.
If I see smoke in the neighborhood, I'll run back.
The Film House Heat Podcast, everybody.
Yeah, that would have been a that could have created an awkward scenario if I decided to start the heat now, and then the whole time we're talking, I'm just like,
yeah,
I smell burning.
It's the same thing with making movies, dude. It's like, what do you do? Do you have the heat running the whole time, but then you're making the movie and you get hot, and then, or do you have actors that start to say, "Hey, man, it's cold in here. Can you turn on the heat?" And they're like, "Well, if I turn on the heat, then we can't use the sound." You know what I mean? Because everything's blowing up.
We have the exact opposite problem here.
Yeah,
where we're filming now. Luckily, a lot of the editing software has gotten so much better with audio that you can just click a button and that air conditioning goes away.
Yes, yeah, it's true. Yep.
The issue I ran into, which I don't know how you detect this, but Thanksgiving again has been in a couple film festivals, and I was sitting next to the editor the entire time.
Yep, I saw that movie.
Oh, you've seen it?
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
yep.
in a movie theater, I can't tell sitting with the editor, but in a movie theater, you can tell in certain scenes with the audio, different speaker setup, and how loud it is. Like some scenes you have no air conditioning noise, and some scenes you just have that room tone, But some scenes it's really too clean of audio. It's like, there should be something.
I didn't see it at the movie theater, so yeah.
I don't think online that I don't think you'd notice it. honestly.
Yeah.
But yeah, in the theater, it's just all of a sudden you hear and it sounds totally normal, and then it disappears on the next scene, and it's like, ooh, it sounds too quiet. It's too clean.
Yeah, it's probably a post-production thing done for effect. You know what I mean? It's probably done on purpose. I don't think it's like, hey, we really captured the air with the
Yeah.
dialogue. I think it's a bigger movie than that. But I know this, which many people don't know, is a movie has to have sound from beginning to end. So if you have a little gap that has nothing, so the levels are completely zero, it will get flagged. So you have to dub in something. So
Yeah,
that's where they use the room tones and stuff. I know I've had to use it's kind of like a room tone, but I go, I don't really want it in there, but I want it completely silent. Like I want nothing. But so what I had to do is I just took like an EQ and took out all the low end. So you just have like the high end of the room left, which is basically like no sound at all, but the meter's still like ticking a little bit. And so
mm,
you have to have
tricks it.
that. Yeah,
Yeah.
tricks it.
Yeah, well, I'd imagine because you do a lot of horror stuff. Uh,
Yeah.
uh,
I've done music videos and a couple, fan films forever too, but the horror is the easiest to do when you're trying to do your own films.
it's
Yeah.
which is funny because I always every time I watch a horror, I'm like, oh, how did they do? Just and generally it's the gory stuff where it's like that
Yeah,
seems like so
yeah.
much work, and but maybe it's not expensive. It's just time consuming. Is
It is
more
time consuming, yeah. Yeah, sometimes it doesn't cost anything, you know. It depends on what it is. I like more camera stuff than, we're going to take 3 hours to do a gore gag, something like that. I would more like you can get just as visceral with the camera, the coloring, and honestly, it's the actor. If you can act really painful, and I'm like, because I've done things where, I've just put maybe like a little blood like in the crease of somebody's, nose and then foul their natural, frown lines, let's say, not aging lines. We don't say that, but the frown lines. And if they can act well and they act really painful, it actually looks more like a prosthetic, gash wound that is really in there. So it depends on how they sell it and depends on how you light it.
yeah.
That's the poor man's way when you're not like, oh, we don't have an hour to put appliance on here, make sure that's right, and we got to change the lighting and you know.
Yeah. How much has because also people probably will have read the show description so they already know this, but you also are a musician.
Yeah.
How much it when we were just talking about audio, it popped into my head even of like, yeah, that probably helps. Like general knowledge is applicable to both fields in a lot of this stuff.
Yeah, if I didn't mix like music and records and stuff, I'd have no idea how to mix the movie audio. It wouldn't sound horrible, but it wouldn't sound good.
Yeah. Well,
That's where I'm like, I'm giving my movies the proper sound mix because I do watch a lot of independent horror movies and the dialogue, the sound of it is horrible.
yeah.
And I just think they either don't have time to do it or they just don't know, you know.
Yeah, I think yeah, it's interesting to see in the indie film realm of how some people do it so well and some it's like
Yeah. Like a microphone, if you don't hear that bass from your voice, it's not movie quality. That's really the kind of like a rule to me anyways, you know what I mean? If it sounds
yeah.
really thin or something, then there's something wrong. You know?
Very, I guess this is probably way too inside baseball for most people, but when you're doing sound, when you're doing the film, do you prefer a boom or wireless mics?
A boom.
Okay, me too.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah.
it was, yeah, the biggest issue, again, unfortunately, these are things you can't go back in time and do, but
Yeah, yeah.
but in Thanksgiving again, there are a couple scenes where the audio is less than stellar, and it was always the damn lav mics that we were hiding in their hiding in their wardrobe, and it was always those scenes where it was like, ah, and my editor has a background in sound, so he's messing with all this stuff that you would probably
Okay.
understand, but I don't.
Yeah.
And I'm like, we just have to go with the best we can do. Like,
I don't think I noticed that watching it because again I wasn't in the theater. I mean I do have surround sound, but I actually sometimes I watch movies at a really low volume too. I can kind of it's a different experience. I can kind of understand it sometimes
mm,
more. I think I do that when I'm in like filmmaker mode, because when you got a sub going on, you got the surround sound, you crank it, you're a listener, you're a viewer, you know. And
hmm
so I think that was one of the ones. I think even maybe I was sick that day or something, but I watched it. I do believe at a lower volume, so I didn't really notice it. But I did notice like if something is a little. I did notice some of the things subconsciously to you because I'm watching it. I'm like some things don't add up as much. I'm like I don't know what it is, but I only watched it once. But I was like I'd have to go back and see what that was. It just instinctively, my mind's probably like, I'm hearing these sounds that you're describing and some things, and I'm just not really paying attention,
it
but
it
I'm
could
picking it
be
up.
it could be that, or it could be the hell we had trying to color correct the main house because
Okay.
there was a giant pool and a whole side of the house that we rented was a screen door, and we could cover up little bits of it, but we couldn't cover the we didn't it, it didn't show this on the Airbnb on the website. It
Yeah.
didn't look like we imagined. Now we probably could have figured out a way to spend some more money to get a scrim or whatever on the sliding glass, but the problem was different times of day the sun reflected off the pool, so we'd get green, like the entire scene
Yeah.
would be green or blue, or again, it was sometimes just normal, which then didn't look normal because it always has this different tint to it. So yeah, that was the
Yeah.
I don't think isn't a anyone who's not looking for something, which is part of that's part of the, I'm sure you deal with this, is part of the independent film community is you watch other people's movies and I don't do this, but well, I can't say I haven't done it when there's something really obvious, but a
Yeah.
lot of times I remember sending a rough cut to a few people, and one of the guys, and I said, "This is a rough cut. We're still in editing," and he was just like he noticed a couple things that we noticed and we're going to fix, but it was like a light stand is in the shot or so, and
Yeah.
I'm like, but that was in the corner of the screen for less than half a second. There's
Yep.
unless you're looking for it. Because any civilian, I'd be like, is there anything weird with this scene? I just did it as a test. I showed probably 20 people, just normal people. They're like, no, I don't notice anything. And even the filmmakers, most didn't notice, but two people
Really?
were, and they did not make the movie because I saw it, and we were going
Oh,
to
okay.
edit it, but this was a
I was
version
gonna
that,
say you could zoom in just a tad, and
yeah, and that's all we did is just
yeah.
zoom in just a tad. Um,
Now, I used to say no, it didn't work. I used to throw out the footage. I didn't used to zoom in like that. I noticed I zoomed in a little bit when I see something. I'm like, oh, geez, like even like it's something like stupid, like there was a little scarf or something on a stand, and you just see like the end of it, and I'm just like that's not even supposed to be there. How
mm,
sometimes you like put things around to where you film to once in a while. I mean, you try to have it clear, but once in a while it's so tight. You're like, oh, I got like the edge of the phone thing in there.
it's
Around. Oh,
something in both of my movies that I've noticed on the big screen. And again, I'm looking for this stuff, but there's always, and again, part of it is it doesn't matter because nobody, like, you see a binder in the background. Well, that's my script,
oh, okay.
but people have binders. Like,
Yeah, they have
nobody's going to be
whatever
like, oh, the
books.
script's in the shot. No,
Yeah,
only I know it's a script. It's a binder.
yeah,
I have binders in my house that right now, and I'm not shooting a movie. So,
yeah.
um, and little things I've noticed. The last ride was in theaters for the first time at a film festival last week, and there's one scene where a shirt that I wear in the movie, you can see it hanging over a chair far in the background. of a
Oh,
house that I'm not. So it's like, well, okay, but nobody's going to put that together.
no,
And
no.
if they did it, they would just be like, oh, this guy has the same color shirt.
Yeah,
Because you
maybe he
can't
has
even
two of
see it's
them.
the same shirt.
Yeah.
It's just a teal shirt, just
Yeah,
thrown over a
in the
chair.
shot. Yeah.
Yeah, and we designed that. We had clothes all over the place because he was a
Yeah.
slob. So
Yeah.
it's like no one except for me is going to be like, oh, that's my shirt that I wore in the movie.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I
um,
don't think people would exactly pick that up.
no, and if they do, they're nuts.
Yeah, just, you know, at
do
least
you
it's not a
do
room full of all the teal shirts, you know what I mean?
yeah,
That would be more interesting. I don't know. I'd
it's
be like, why
I
is this
wore
guy in
five.
teal shirts?
I have 5 shirts I wear in the movie, and they're all he has all
Yeah.
the same shirts.
Yep.
um,
That's
yeah,
funny.
do you get a lot of that with fellow filmmakers who will give you notes like, "Man, you're just looking for shit."
Um, I don't know. I haven't really gotten any criticism yet as far as like goofs and stuff like that. A few of my friends have noticed things because they know me. So they're like, Frank, there's always one misspelling in your movies. And I go, yeah, I know. If I didn't have it, it wouldn't be me. You
Yeah,
know?
well, yeah,
Yeah.
just do that on purpose. That
Yeah. I mean, I tell you when I do all, no budget, low budget films, because I don't have a budget for any of my stuff. So it's like if I put anything into it, it's money out of my pocket that I'm spending. So it's not coming from anywhere. But the first movie I remember, uh, the Cinema Epoch guys, one of them sent me a message and they're like, I really love your fan films. And he's like, have you ever thought about doing an original film? I'm like, sort of. Maybe. I've tried a couple ideas. I go, but a feature? A full feature? I just couldn't. I'm like, I don't know. That'd be kind of tough. Um, but I did it and I tried it and I was like, the only way I could do it is an anthology film. I don't know what you think about anthologies, but I was like, that's the only way I can do it because each actor I only had a day, or whatever.
right. Yeah, and that's
Besides
say
myself.
cheese is one of those too, right?
No, actually,
Or
Say
it's not.
Cheese is a movie that has chapters in it.
Oh, okay.
And what relates is the killer camera, obviously, but there's like little hints of stuff too. It has to do with holidays, actually. So there's a different holiday for every scene, but it just says
Hmm.
chapter one, New Year's Eve, or you know what I mean, whatever. So yeah, I was like, it kind of could be looked at as an anthology, but it's not. The Warren County is At Death's Door is Killer Tales,
Yeah.
and the first one, The Lost Chronicles. So, anyways, Lost Chronicles is spelled wrong on the titles right away when you first look at it.
The title of the movie is spelled wrong.
Title in the movie, yeah. And it was like, like I've had a couple of comments like, you dope, like you misspelled it wrong, and I go, I know at the time I spelt it wrong on purpose because I don't think I could use the Lost Chronicles word
Hmm.
for a movie title because there was like the TV series, there's other stuff. I was like, I'll just spell it weird. Who care? Who cares? Sort of thing. But then he was like, well, you can spell it like normal, and I was like, okay, well, I can't change it now because the movie's done. So I go, that was a conscious decision on my part.
Yeah. Well,
But
there you go. You did it on purpose. That's
yeah. But that movie is me and my friends literally getting together, making a movie. And then it goes from there. Like the second one is a little more involved. It's still me and my friends and maybe another actor or two I didn't know. And then the third movie, those first three movies, which are really like an unofficial trilogy, are all the same crew, production, actors, everything. And it's my version of I know they're released, but it's my version of what would be a movie, maybe eventually, sort of thing. So tell everyone when we watch those, don't criticize them as much. They're movies that I could do with what I could do at the time. It's like doing the old fan films and stuff. You do those really really bad fan films. You put them out as I consider them your demo kind of work and
yeah.
stuff. And then these past couple films, I'm like, yeah, I'd be happy to show people more of these films, and this is how I evolved. But I don't know. I don't know what you think about it with like people that follow you. Do they like that? Do they like the journey to see, wow, you were here and man, look at this now,
Uh, I like to think so. I think that's similar view to how I what I had of
Yeah.
I'm going to make these two movies on a shoestring budget. I mean, Thanksgiving again was probably 35 grand or something.
Hmm.
The last ride was, I think, under 20, but we'll say 20. Um, I should probably have a more firm number on those things. But my purpose was to tell a couple good stories. Uh, with the last ride, it was to put myself out there as an actor,
Yeah. Yeah.
and then use those as a thing of like, look, hey, imagine what I could do, investors, if you gave me $1 million. If I could do these two movies for a
True.
combined, 60,000, whatever. Imagine what I could do with 10 times that budget. You know, let me make you
Yeah.
money.
Yeah.
So that's kind of where my head is at with
Yeah.
it. And I think ultimately I'm not Thanksgiving again, I've seen so many times because I was in the editing room that I don't, I couldn't, I think
Yeah.
it's an
You're
enjoyable
too
film.
close to it.
Yeah, but I can't
Got to give it a
prejudge.
couple of years.
Yeah, I watched The Last
Yeah.
Ride in theaters, and I've only seen it like 4 or 5 times because I didn't. I mean, I saw some of the steps along the way, but until that film was really cut together,
Yeah.
it was hard to really know what I was looking at, and I enjoyed it. I didn't direct that film, and thus I was not part of the editing. I just paid for it and
Oh,
gave myself the lead role. Uh,
there you go.
yeah, and that was really the purpose. I didn't intend to direct either of the movies I was going to make.
Are those still
Um,
non-union?
yeah, non-union.
Yeah.
Um, and yeah, I didn't intend to direct Thanksgiving again. It just kind of had to be that way, and it was the only movie where I wasn't the lead. So it was like, I think I can pull this off doing both. Um,
Yeah. So
I
you're
can,
so you're in my realm of like you're acting and directing and or not, but part of the movie.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
It's tough, and I know you've directed a lot, and I mean, you act in them as well.
Yeah,
Um,
it's tough.
it's how so my thing is always like I have 4 scripts that I want to get done and they're all very lead heavy, and if I'm filming them I would be the lead, and in all of them I'm like I need someone behind the camera directing my acting. Like I can't
Oh,
I,
I
I
gotcha.
don't trust myself to be like I nailed it. I need
Oh,
someone
okay.
else to tell me do it again,
Oh,
or this look didn't work, or you know.
yeah. I've honestly never thought about that with my acting, with directing myself, I guess, if you want to call it that. I mean, I watch the playback and I just watch it and I go, no, that wasn't it. Oh, no, that was pretty good. Yeah, that was it. Well, maybe a little bit more of this. And then I just go and do it again.
Hmm.
Once in a while, well, like one of the actors, if I'm acting with somebody, they'll say, well, maybe your character's this, and maybe try it. Maybe it's this way or something. And then I'm like, okay. So even though, it's like I write, direct all the movies, all the actors and everybody involved, I'd say, what do you think? What do you even
Yeah.
think we could do better here? That sort of thing. Like, because sometimes I'm like, well, if you're gonna play this character, how do you like? I obviously have a vision for the character, but how would you play that? How would you make this better? Maybe okay, cool, let's try it. You know what I mean? Like sometimes they come in where I don't know if they should wear that teal shirt. You know what I mean? I kind of want to wear a leather jacket, and I'm thinking of this, and you're like, what? Like it puts a dent in your maybe your character and the way you film a little bit, but you're like, you know what? Yeah, let's try it. It ends up coming out better, usually every time. You
Yeah,
know?
it's well, and that's the benefit of working with people you trust and people
Yeah.
who know you well enough to know. I know he's the director, but he's happy to hear if I have feedback.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
well, I'm sure you know, not everyone's like that. Where don't you dare tell me something I should be doing on my set. Uh,
Yeah, no, yeah.
so it's
Hitchcock, you know what I mean?
yeah, yeah. Well, it's one of those things where it's that was the other aspect of directing that I didn't have the first go round. The same like the wardrobe stuff. The director handled that.
Yeah.
I didn't have to.
Yeah.
So this time, everyone's like asking me, sending me pictures of stuff, and I'm like, I don't know. I'm like, oh, I guess I have to know. It's my movie.
The final decision.
Well, and I did have
Yeah.
a color scheme in the movie, believe it or not. No one has noticed it whatsoever. But I have the main character who's going through a time loop. She wears different clothes throughout the movie.
Yeah.
Um, because that's the only thing that she can change, So I thought that's
Yeah.
better than her wearing the same thing every day. She's at home, so she has access to her full wardrobe.
Yep.
But everyone else wears the same thing every day. And
Oh, I got you.
I had the characters I deemed as good characters wear Thanksgiving colors, like yellow, orange, green, that kind of
Yep.
stuff. The dad, the mom, the older sister, the husband.
Yep.
And
Yep.
then I had the chaos characters who wore red, black, pink, blue, just non-Thanksgiving colors. And I'm
Okay.
like, that's nobody's going to notice this. And I was right. Nobody noticed
Yeah.
it.
Makes it
But
more unique though.
yeah, yeah, it's it was just like, oh, I got to do something, right? Like I
I
got to
gotta
tell
think of
them
something quick.
Yeah, I got to think of something. So this is the easiest way to do it. You wear earth tones or whatever the hell Thanksgiving colors are,
Yeah.
and you wear bright or dark. Wear black or you know pink or whatever.
Yeah.
Um,
I don't think I
so
ever thought about tones like that. I always think about kind of the way I light it, and then I'm just like, just don't wear a black shirt because we're going to be filming a scene that's in blackness, and the camera won't even see it.
yeah, yeah,
You
you're
know,
just a
wear like
floating
you said,
head.
wear green or red or yellow or whatever you want. You know, or it's just like with Psychopath, I was like, so I had this custom mask done, and I had two of them made, and there's only two of them, and one was a little too small, and the other one was small. Put it that way. So too small and small. And I was like, what is this character gonna wear that's any I've seen every slasher movie known to man, and I'm like, how can I make this different? Like, what am I gonna wear? I was like, I think literally on the day I just put on the mask and I was wearing my rocker jeans I usually play shows with, and I was wearing like a black t-shirt. And then I had this I consider like a construction dude kind of jacket where it's kind of flannel and big, and then it's got a hood, kind of like
Mm.
a little ghetto-ish kind of thing too, but it's all got plaid on it. And so I'm like, I need a hood of some kind because I was thinking like a scream cloak, but I go, they've done that 1,000 times. So I grabbed that, put it on, and all of a sudden I kind of stood kind of like this, and I just kind of stood a different way, and I was like, okay, I think that'll work. I was like, I don't know any other killer out there that has worn rock and roll ripped jeans, like the tight jeans.
Oh yeah,
And then the upper body's bigger. You know what I mean? And he got the mask. And he got leather gloves. I just
nice.
figured that'd be different. I thought a Ghost Rider. I was like, I always like the motorcycle kind of thing.
Yeah,
But
no, that's a
but
cool,
man,
unique way to go about it.
man, that mask. So during shooting, I could only put on that mask for maybe 15, 20 minutes at a time because it was so tight that would just give you like migraines and stuff. So
Mm.
it wasn't pleasant to wear, but it reminds me of the Nightmare Before Christmas character a little bit. But and then it's like, I don't know what you think, but it's like I play usually what you do, like the guy in the movie, but I usually play the serial killer as well. Like, how do I act different? You know what I mean? You've seen all these horror movies. How does it even act different? Where does it come from for you? For like, on do you think like I don't want to just copy like De Niro in a scene or something? You know what I mean? I want to be Arnold. You know, it's I don't know.
Um, yeah, that's a good question. I try to I guess with well, Thanksgiving Again's maybe not the best example because I played Jeffrey, who was just me turned up to 12.
Yeah.
And I added a little bit of like Tracy Morgan's character from 30 Rock to it, just the look at me aspect.
Mhm.
Um, so that one was pretty much like just be yourself, just a little more outrageous. Um, but even like the last ride, I didn't write it. And I kind of just the way I went about it was it's a normal dude who's fallen on tough times. He's suicidal. He's got drinking problems. You know, his wife and kid have left him.
Yeah.
I really just thought if this were my life, I just be myself. But
Yeah. So you're not
I
more concerned about, well, if I come across more as you're some real actor that you're not copying, but you know what I mean?
yeah,
Mimicking maybe or
I always get compared to Danny McBride, which is hilarious because even the
I
last
can see
ride,
that now. The second you said that, I was like, yeah, man.
somebody and
Halloween.
I've got curly hair when it grows out too, so
Oh wow.
I see the comparison to him.
Yeah. It's the
But
hair, I
this
think.
yeah,
Yeah.
this was a serious role. There was no laughs in the last ride at all, and
Yeah.
I still had a stranger come up to me afterwards and be like, "Oh man, you remind me so much of Danny McBride," and I'm like, Jesus, how is that possible? And I had someone else, the guy who runs the film festival I was in. He's like, man, I was watching Thanksgiving Again, and every time you came on screen, I'm like, that's not Danny McBride, is it? And I'm like, I was playing myself.
Be like, I really wrote Halloween. You didn't know that?
Yeah, it was
Wow.
yeah, so I don't worry too much unless well, the first movie I was in, I was playing someone who had a southern accent. And in
Yeah.
that movie, it does look like I'm trying to rip off Danny McBride, but it's not intention. You know, it's
It's
just
not
that
intentional.
I
Yeah,
look
yeah, yeah.
like him and I sound a little like him. So
Yeah.
you know, and
That
I'm
happens. I'm
yeah,
sure
yeah.
someday if you played the killer or somebody like that, that you might think like you automatically associate, oh, okay, this is like a Leatherface type character. I don't do it intentionally either, but it's like the second I think about or read about some character or want to write about a character, I'm like, he's kind of like a Michael Myers character. And so you have that stuck in your head, and then you're like, how do I
Mm.
make him different than Michael Myers? You know what I mean? How to make my own Michael Myers? Or not my own, but something different.
Yeah, yeah.
So,
You know what I did
yeah.
realize, and I have to be very cautious before a shoot, um, because I realized this. Like I watch, like me and my son will like binge watch a sitcom or whatever we're watching, or even by myself, I watch Curb Your Enthusiasm over and over again.
Yeah, or whatever.
And when I happen to be in a rewatch of Curb Your Enthusiasm, I'll notice I'm at a party, and all of a sudden I'm like, why am I doing a Larry David? Like why am I being an old Jewish man? Like it's like it's just
Uh,
making. But I catch myself when I watch through a show. There's like a little mannerism that you know a character does that I'll start to do or
Mimicking, right? Yeah. Or you think
yeah
it's cool, maybe, or
yeah, yeah. I've noticed one thing I've noticed that I don't do intentionally, and I don't know that it's even subconsciously, but a few times in things I've been acting in, just randomly a line here or there, I'm like, what was I trying to be Negan? Like I sound like Jeffrey Dean Morgan the way I
oh
said
yeah, yeah,
that,
yeah.
and I'm like,
Yeah.
I think that's the way I talk, and I don't know if I assume I was doing
Yeah.
that before Negan was even a thing, but I
Yeah.
now I don't even know.
It's funny because I always wonder if you really haven't seen any movies and you want to be an actor, that actually wouldn't quote unquote limit you,
Hmm.
you know? Because that's kind of a limit. You limited yourself and you're like, well, I don't, it sounds like Jeffrey Dean Morgan. I don't want to be like him. You know, I
Yeah.
actually acted with him in Taking Woodstock.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we were in a scene together. It was him and Emil Hirsch and
Oh.
Ang Lee movie. That's all I gotta say. But it was funny. But I was I asked him the dumbest question in the world. I go, "Aren't you the?" I knew who he was, but I was like, "Aren't you the guy that was in that movie recently with like Tommy Lee Jones, Once Upon a Mexico, or remember it won all these awards and stuff?" And he's like, "Isn't that a Mexican?" And I was like, "Oh shit! I just got this all wrong." I go, "I'm sitting next to the father of Supernatural, and he wasn't Negan at the time, but I was like, I totally did not because his hair was like, really grungy and stuff too." And I go, "Well, he kind of looked like him, you know?" He's like, "That's okay." He goes, but it was so weird because Ang Lee, the whole time he had an interpreter on the set and he acted like he didn't understand English.
Mm.
And I'm like, he understands English this whole time because I can't remember what, but something happened. And I was like, see, he understands English. He acts like he doesn't. He was like playing dumb a little bit.
Yeah, yeah, you can catch people with that a lot with jokes. When they start laughing at a
Oh,
joke, well, how would you possibly laugh at a
yeah. Well, I'm just laughing politely at the actor. That's okay.
yeah,
You know? Yeah, I
I
know what you
knew
mean, though.
I worked for the Rays for 5 years when I was in college, and every Japanese player had an interpreter, and they all spoke English just fine.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
Yeah.
they really didn't want. For them, it was a way to like I don't want to accidentally because they weren't perfect.
Say
So
something.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's like
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
want to say something that will get me in trouble.
Yeah.
I want to have, and there's a layer of protection there with the interpreter. But yeah,
Yeah.
he could. Akinori Iwamura could speak English. I promise you.
Yeah. It's funny what I noticed like Ang Lee too. He really he because I was around that movie a couple days. He didn't really direct, if that makes sense. Like he didn't direct actors. I
Just
thought that was kind of surprising because they next to me they did their own thing. I didn't get a script or anything because I was technically just an extra, but I was somehow in this scene sitting next to him and they were shooting through me, and I'm like, so I'm in this whole scene that's like 3 minutes. I just use my instincts. I'm like, nobody tell me what to do at all, and I go, the camera's right here, and I'm gonna screw it up. I'm gonna screw up a lot of money if I. So I'm like, I did ask once. I'm like, what am I supposed to do? And nobody like acknowledged I was there. But I go, dude, you have me, him, and the whole scene's this way. Like, say something, because I didn't, I had no idea what was going on. Um, but I was just like, all right, I'll laugh to the thing. I'll act disgusted. I'm like, I did talk to him a little bit. I go, what are you supposed to do in this scene? What are you doing? Where do you end up? But at the end, I go, yeah, it was great, acting with you and stuff like that. And he shook my hand and he was like, pleasure. He has a low voice, really low voice. But I was like, man, I acted with Negan. I didn't even know it.
yeah, yeah.
Man,
Before he blew up, and Emil Hirsch is he's such an underrated actor. He just doesn't
he's
do
really good.
a
Yeah.
whole lot.
And it's funny because they were talking about how he was having girlfriend problems, and he's talking about something about his girlfriend like not showing up at the premiere, or she wanted not to go or something. He's like, I don't know, man, and this and this, and I'm like, see, folks, actors still have regular problems, but they're like, does my girlfriend show up to a premiere or not? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's the same issues, but different layers.
See, I would be
uh,
I
it's
would
funny.
be because he was already at that point. I imagine like this was post Alpha
2000,
Dog.
2009. Yeah.
Yeah, so I think that's post Alpha Dog. It's definitely after The Girl Next Door, which, made him a hero for forever. Just, I
Yeah.
mean, nobody notices him in the movie because
No, yeah.
Alicia Cuthbert.
Yeah.
But uh, I want to watch that movie now. Uh,
I've only seen it once, to be honest, but I was like, oh, okay.
oh
Yeah.
God, and in I was in high school when that came out. I'm 99% sure because I think I watched it like 700
Yeah.
times. It was
I think it was right after high school when I discovered it. I used to work at Hollywood Video. Remember the video stores?
oh yeah.
Yeah.
I miss I
Yep.
that's something as an indie filmmaker that like Tubi's great. I love Tubi, but sometimes it'll be like, "Oh, it's on Tubi." And I'm like, I would never have found it in a million years unless you told me specifically I could go watch it on Tubi. I know you have a
Yeah,
couple on Tubi. Um,
yeah.
but they don't come up. Like I even seek out independent films, but they're not on, but
No, it's
that's
not. It's under horror. It's not like, oh, here's our indie horror category.
yeah, well, I don't think they even have an indie category, period.
They
I don't
should
think.
because it's mostly all indie films on Tubi
Yeah,
and
yeah,
really old stuff.
and old stuff, yeah,
Yeah.
which is also interesting. Some of the old stuff, like how did this never cross my like? I didn't know this movie existed.
Yeah, like
Um,
Madman from the 80s and all these like slasher movies and I'm like, these are all the drive-in movies that I've heard about,
yeah,
because I wasn't alive, so I was like, wow, you can, because somebody's mentioned like, you ever see like New Year's Eve or something? And I'm like, there's a New Year's Eve? There's a horror movie based off of every holiday? I never knew that. And they were like, literally, it was in the drive-ins for like a weekend, you know?
mm,
And I was like, well, that makes sense. But they used to call them drive-in movies.
yeah,
So I've been watching a lot of those, and I'm like, I could see where everybody copies Halloween or Jason or Chainsaw Massacre, but there's always something kind of unique in it. Like Tourist Trap is a very good movie. I thought it's a little chainsaw-esque. There's some Funhouse in there, but they kind of do their own thing. But check that one out. That was good.
yeah. It's I,
From the
but
80s.
I,
80s, late
I
70s. Can't remember.
I wish there were a physical Tubi where you could every movie is on a shelf and you just walk
Yeah.
around and because clicking the remote eventually it's like fuck I'll just watch this like
Yeah, the covers and stuff. You used to look at them. Oh yeah, I want to watch that movie. That guy with the metal outline and just like I'd find a cover and I go, this looks like Terminator. I gotta watch it.
yeah
It wasn't at all.
no and it was always
Yeah.
hit or miss but I still remember some of the best movies I watched in high school were because my friends and I went to a Blockbuster and what we were going to get was sold out. So
Yeah.
it's like, all right, let's browse around. And like we watched a movie that actually was on Tubi recently. I'm not sure if it still is. That we got, and now I want to make it clear this is not the Dane Cook movie, but it's called Employee of the Month. I think it came out
Oh.
a year before the Dane Cook movie with the
Oh,
same
there's another one. I
title.
didn't know that. Yeah.
It has Matt Dillon, Steve Zahn,
Hmm.
Jenna Fisher before she was famous, Christina Applegate, like Dave Foley. Like it has a lot of recognizable faces.
Wow.
Um,
So it's out of like an out of print movie
yeah,
or something.
but we got it back in high school just because there was nothing else. And it's one of the funniest movies. It's got a
Hmm.
cool twist ending to it, kind of. It's you go in with low expectations
So
and
it's
it's
two comedies with the same name. Did they remake it for Dane Cook or something? Or
no, completely different.
no, no.
One is a very
Hmm.
R-rated action comedy, and the other one's just Dane Cook
Oh,
being a
okay.
goof off at
And
work.
Jessica Simpson was in that, I
Jessica
think. Yeah.
Simpson, right? I was trying to think who that was with him.
Yeah. Daisy Duke. Well, it's
Yeah.
funny because um, the Cinema Epoch guys were saying, if we were doing the movies now and they were going to video stores, he's like, the amount of money we'd be making and the amount of people that would be seeing it would be way more
Hmm.
than what it is now. He used to say, like, they used to give, like, if you went to Blockbuster or Hollywood Video, the movies that are on Tubi would be making at least $100,000 per deal. And I'm like, these are the same movies as we do now? He's like, yeah, but there's no more video stores.
Yeah. Well, and it is. I was having this conversation with someone the other day because I'm working a pilot I co-wrote. A film festival, a competition we entered is they're trying to help us connect with executives and managers and stuff to get it made, so they can brag that it got made.
Yeah, yeah.
Uh, and we were talking about he's asking about other stuff we've done and all that, and the pilot we wrote, the plan was for me to play the lead character. That's who he's based on, is me.
Yeah.
Uh, and the guy was like, "Yeah, that might be a hard sell depending on the studio." Like, just he's like, "Not to, but you're not a named person." And I'm like, "Yeah, no shit, but I could be in like 3 months if
Yeah.
if if they buy my other movies and put them on the front page of their streamer, people are going to watch it. Like, oh, it recommends this movie. Okay, I'll watch it.
Yeah. Yep.
You put Thanksgiving again on your front page of HBO Max. I'm just making one up here, but put it on the front page of HBO Max in October and November, and I guarantee you, people will know me by the end of 2
People
months.
will watch it. Yeah, they will.
Yeah,
watch
they'll
it.
say, "Oh,
Yeah.
a Thanksgiving movie. Hey, it's almost Thanksgiving. Let's watch it."
It's
It's a
I think
time
it's
loop
true
movie too, which has its own cult.
Yeah, that they don't know you just from one movie though. It's the next movie that you do.
Yeah,
Because they're
yeah.
like, that's that guy. And then it's actually the third and fourth movie you do. Then they'll go back and watch your other movies and say, okay, I've seen this guy. Because I'll notice that. I'd be like, I saw that actor in something and he was in this pretty good movie. And then he was in this. And I'm like, wow, now you know who he is. Even
Yeah.
if I'm not talking like The Rock or, somebody
Right.
even somebody on a smaller level,
Well, I think Danny
you know,
McBride, not to, but I think he kind of developed that way, where it
he
was
did
just
that way.
like,
I don't know a lot about him, to be honest.
it was. He did his own movie, The Foot Fist Way, which was like a cult comedy movie. It's
It,
it's some
it is
people
what
think
it
it's the
is.
funniest movie ever, and I'm like, it's not exactly my style, but I can recognize it's a good comedy.
Yeah. Dumb and
Um,
Dumber to me is number one. I love that
oh,
movie.
I'm, oh boy, I couldn't even. Someone asked me on a podcast once what my top five comedies were, and I'm like, I can't name five because if I name one, I'm going to name 30.
Yeah.
Like and some of them are embarrassing, probably. Like Secret
Yeah.
Time, I'll tell you.
How
One
about
of the
Shaun of the Dead? Is that on there?
uh,
The comedy.
I it's in consideration, I'd say.
Yeah. It's a good one.
Um, it wouldn't make top five, but if I'm listing
Yeah.
30, yeah, that's where it gets tricky.
Yeah.
But like I like the remake. Not it's not even a remake really, but Vacation with Ed Helms. You probably haven't seen it because everyone said, "Oh, this is
Oh,
dog shit." Chevy
it's
Chase is the.
it's a sequel, but yeah.
It's a sequel. Yeah,
Yeah.
he's the son. Every scene in that movie makes me laugh. I'm like, I don't. I know people don't like sequels or it's not
Mm.
original, but I'm like, it is kind of original. It's just the same characters that we've seen, but the one character we've seen before, minus
Yeah. It's a
spoiler
clever
alert.
version
Chevy
of a
Chase is in
remake
the
as a
movie.
sequel. Yeah, sort of.
Yeah, but every
It was
every scene in
okay,
that
I
movie,
thought.
I laughed. I'm like, that's funny. Like I'm like,
Yeah.
I understand why people, and again, I'm of all people, someone who makes independent comedies should be like, hey, don't, yeah, it's cheating. But it's like,
Depends on your humor, though. Some people don't like Dumb
oh
and
yeah,
Dumber. Some people are like, "Well, Jim Carrey is not funny at all." I'm like, "How can you
oh
say he's not funny at all?"
man,
But some people don't like Mike Myers stuff too, and I understand that it's all different
that's
types.
true.
Like I don't really like Jackass kind of stuff where people are really hurting themselves, and I don't think that's really funny as
No,
much. I can
there
see
are
why
certain
people like it.
ones. They're
Yeah,
watching. I remember
certain
watching
ones.
Jackass.
But
That was a blockbuster thing. Me and my friends got back in the
yeah,
day in high school,
yeah,
and like there were some that were hilarious. Some of the shit they did, and some it was like, oh, well, why? I don't. This is disgusting. Like,
yeah, yeah. It's like no,
yeah, I don't have the stomach for it.
I know.
I have to touch on your music. Do you have an album coming out this year?
Yeah, I have an EP. It's called Vampire. That'll be out end of August. I believe, I don't know if it's August 29th is the last Friday. And that might be in correlation with the Terminator, you know what I mean? August 29th,
Mm.
2027. I'm a year off, but
Close.
But yeah. Yeah.
So August, and is that rock or what?
Yeah, it's hard rock, more hard rock, a little border metal. It's probably the hardest thing I've gonna come out with.
Nice,
Um, I'm gonna try to do two music videos, one for Vampire, one for a song called The Dragon. So we'll see.
nice.
Yeah.
It's. I feel like I had someone on second half of last year, CJ Shaman, who does it, like, I don't know the best way to say it. I'm like, I feel like it's like 80s, early 90s, like rock, like hard rock,
Oh, okay.
not what passes for rock
Nowadays,
nowadays.
yeah, like Guns N' Roses or something, or I don't know.
Yeah, more throwback. And
Yeah,
I even early 2000s, there was some good rock, and I feel like it's kind of gone away, but maybe it's making a comeback a little bit. I mean, I've now spoken to two
yeah,
people who do more hard rock.
yeah. It's kind of been there. It's like '80s hair metal. It's been there, done that. Repeated 1,000 times. I mean, I love 3 Days Grace. They're kind of at the tail end. You have Creed, you have Three Doors Down, you have some of those other bands that were like that, but that style of hard rock, as you call it, like the Hinders, that kind of stuff. There's a line of artists that came out afterwards, and it just got beat to death. Saving Abel. I mean, they're all great. I've worked with some of them, but um, I feel like maybe that genre hasn't evolved as much. Now it's more honestly, it's like pop rap and screaming, growling kind of stuff too, and what's considered hard rock, on like what's that station on XM? I can't think of it right now. If you're on the active rock charts, there's that XM radio station. I forgot what it's called right now. I
Oh,
should know.
I'm of no help. I've
Oh, I'm just
never
drawing a
had
blank. I
satellite
should know
radio.
it, but that's like to me that they're saying that is the modern day Metallica's the modern day. So you have, and I'm listening to it. I'm like, this music's like it's different, but it's all digital.
Hmm.
They'll probably argue with me, Frank. It's not all digital, but yeah, they're using digital beats. They're using kind of rap parts. They're screaming. All the don't
Ugh.
kill me. All the voices, quote unquote, are auto tuned, or they use on purpose the rap auto tune that was popular that they started. So that's into hard rock and metal now, and I'm like, I don't really think it works, man. Some of the
No.
stuff's clever. It just kind of sounds the same. So I'm like, I want to bring back the hard rock, the rock element that still sounds like a band. You know what I mean? Doesn't
Yeah.
sound like a computer.
Yeah.
My voice is
No.
not auto-tuned.
Good.
you know?
Yeah, it's kind of why I remember seeing I couldn't tell you who it was, and I should not even try because I will get it wrong. But it was a band, and they were performing live, and I'm like, this cover band needs a new singer. Like this dude, it was the real band. I thought
Oh,
because it sounds nothing. He was actually doing it without whatever in post
yeah,
they do to his voice, and
yeah.
I'm like. The music's really on point, but the singing
A,
is
a newer band or an older band?
it's a newer one. Not super new, but
Yeah.
it's and I give him credit for, he's out there singing, but he sounds like someone who it sounds like if I tried to do it in essence, it was like
How are they going to sound like the record if they use all that stuff? And if there's like a million different voices and you can't.
yeah.
You know what I mean? As a band setup, you can use backing tracks. I mean, you can use all that stuff, but it's like, here, play acoustic now. And you're like, oh, what is that?
Yeah.
Doesn't sound like it.
Well, I'm looking forward because I listened to a little bit of your stuff that's on Spotify currently, so not as hard as what's coming out in August. Um,
Yeah, it's a little harder. I mean, all the fans will break these chains. That's kind of the staple. They're like, if anybody knows a song, it's break these chains, and that's the one I did with Brian from Daughtry and stuff. But I think that song kind of hit home because it's more melodic. It still has a hard rock in it. To me, a lot of people like Breaking Benjamin, and there's some sort of thing through that. I don't think I sound like him, but something about it just And you know what's funny? It's funny I mention that song. Guess when I wrote it? What was the day that I wrote that song? It's the title of your movie.
Thanksgiving, really?
Yes. I wrote it in a half an hour before we had to go out for Thanksgiving.
Wow.
And I was like, I think this is, I played it for my parents. I go, I'm on to something here. They're like, yeah, just write it down and, we're going to go eat.
Yeah. Yeah, we've got things to do, kid.
Yeah. And I'm like, I knew it then though. I go, this is going to be, a good track. It's going to be like, there's certain songs, it's weird to say there's certain songs that are important, not just to you, but you just write them and you're like, this is going to last. Or I know people are going to say, what songs do you like of mine? Or they're going to say these, for the most part.
And was that the lyrics or the music that you're?
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I mean, it's different for everybody, but I like more of the music. I mean, I sing because there has to be, words and lyrics and songs, but I'm more about the beats and the music. Like I could totally just do an all instrumental Metallica type album and I'd be okay with that because I just love that type of stuff. And listening to it, pumps you up. It's
Yeah.
cool. Yeah.
Yeah, well,
But,
I'm on the bandwagon of people who are like, why can't we get like Metallica or AC/DC or Guns N' Roses to play the Super Bowl halftime show? Like that's the music that's played in the stadiums.
They should, yeah. That's stadium rock.
Yeah, yeah.
Just
get an actual rock band instead of.
Yeah.
I don't even know who the halftime guy is this year. And
early 2000s rock was really looked down on, and I hated that. Going through high school and stuff, I was like, why am I being made fun of because I like rock? I'm like you said, there's so many famous people and stuff, but that's when they started taking away rock from Super Bowls, commercials, movies. And then everyone was like, oh, it's old, it's never gonna come back, and blah blah blah. So it's not the people's fault. It's just they decide not to use it anymore. So they're like, that's not cool, man. We're into this pop and rap and R&B stuff, country.
yeah,
Country.
yeah,
Yeah, that really took off during that time too.
yeah. I have to deal with that down here. Not my favorite.
I feel like it's not as popular though past couple of years.
Well, that's a good sign if you think so.
Okay. Well, I mean, I live up here.
I'm down in Florida, so yeah, it's like it's hard to
Yeah.
tell because that's just like what people listen to, and I'm like, why? It's not good. I mean, yeah, I'll be. There are some country songs that I'm like, okay, I can get with this one, but in general, it's like I just don't like it.
That stuff
for
I was
me.
talking about filtered over in the country as well. The rock guitar stuff. All the rock guys, the drummers, the guitarists, they moved to country. That's why
Yeah.
it sounds this rock. But they started using the auto-tune stuff, the rap machines and stuff. The country music used all that. And I'm like, I understand they want to blend some stuff. And I'm like, it's just not what it is, man. It's not country. It's not rap. It's not rock. What is it?
I blame Kid Rock.
Yeah, maybe.
I mean, when he started, I felt like he was trying to blend rap and rock.
Yeah,
And then
definitely.
he shifted to rock and country pretty
Yep.
hard. And it was
Yep.
like,
Just call it a new genre,
yeah.
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 But the point is what it is. I mean, there's nothing wrong with it. But when you're like, well, this is a country song, and people are like, oh, what? It's not it's not country. Like Johnny Cash is country. You know what I mean? Come on now.
Yeah.
Brad Paisley. I don't know. Keith Urban.
Oh, I went to a Brad Paisley concert, and I'm like, he should do the stuff he does between the songs the whole time and just call it a stand-up show.
Yeah.
Because he was funny. I'm
Yeah.
like, the music sucked, but he was
Oh.
funny. And the guy who went before him is famous, Blake Shelton. He was really
Yeah.
funny. I was
Yeah.
like, man, if he and he sang, he did, to his credit, he did like some covers of like a couple rock songs. I think he did a Britney Spears song,
Really?
and
Wow.
it was his way of doing it. It was just their lyrics basically.
Yeah, yeah.
And I'm like, oh, that's kind of cool to hear the song played by one dude with a guitar instead of
That
like it's a
way.
cool
Yeah,
concept. Yeah.
yeah.
He did like an Eminem song, I want to say, a Britney Spears song, and a rock
Hmm.
song I can't remember. And I'm like, oh, that's different. That's cool. And then he was funny in between songs, and then he'd go into country, and I'm like, oh, the only one not singing along with the song. I'm like, I don't know this
Yeah,
song, and I'm glad I don't.
I'm not into it as much either, but I
To
can
each their
respect it.
own.
Yeah. I can
uh,
I play a little bit of it, but it's not like I want to live there.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
The chicks can be hot,
Yeah.
but outside that. Uh, Frank, before we sign off here, where can my audience find you?
You could go to frankpalangi.com or palangifilms.com. All the movies are on Tubi as of right now. There's a few, actually 3 or 4 movies that are coming out this year as well. Some of the other ones are Fossum, Trauma TV. Some are on Amazon that you can rent or buy. Um, YouTube as well. Some of the movies are free on YouTube. But so what's coming out is Warren County, Say Cheese, Farmhouse. Farmhouse, I just signed a deal with Bayview Entertainment, and they plan on throwing it everywhere. So I'm really excited about that one too. And I'm in for Cinema Epoch. I acted in a movie of theirs, and then I'm making a short film that's going to be like a different director anthology, kind of like Masters of Horror. So I was like, that's cool. So I get to do my story, and then another guy's going to do another story.
Hmm.
That'll come out this year, and then I'll probably go in production for like 2 movies as well this year, and maybe another one of those movies will come out by fall. What's that? 6 movies might come out this year of mine, so I got a lot going on.
Yeah, yeah, and
But
and an album.
and the thing, and I got more to record and write. I do.
Nice.
So
I appreciate the hustle, man. Uh,
it's a lot.
yeah, yeah, and let me know when stuff's coming out. I'll repost it and all that
I
shit.
will. But guys, check out right now At Death's Store is the movie that's out right now on Tubi and Fossum. And that one's based off a short story horror book that I got the movie rights to. So that one for me is different because I worked with a writer and I'm like, I don't want to screw this up. I don't want to piss off a writer. Because now you're working with somebody else. So that one, it's a different project for me. It's a thriller. It's horror thriller. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's at Death's Door, correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, that's the one I have
Dare to
saved.
open.
It's saved to my Tubi, and I made the conscious choice. I'm like, I'm not going to watch it till after I talk to him because otherwise we would not have touched on anything except for the movie, bro.
Yeah, yeah,
We would have had a podcast as long as the movie about the
yeah.
movie.
I think
And
you'll like Say Cheese coming out too. I think
yeah,
that's different.
that one sounds intriguing, and
Yeah.
you play a character named Jeff. So
Yep. And it's a killer 80s camera. I can't use the word Polaroid, but camera.
gotcha.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, Frank, thank you for coming on, man.
Yeah, man. Anytime. Can come back on and talk some more movie stuff here sometime.
Oh yeah, yeah. When more stuff comes out, for sure.
Yeah. We'll have plenty. 6. Look forward to maybe 6 films here this year.
We'll spend a whole podcast talking about those 6 films. So
Yeah, there you go. Well, I
I'll watch
haven't
them
done
first.
that. I haven't done that. They asked me some questions, but it'd be cool to actually break them down a little bit more.
Yeah, yeah.
That'd be neat.
We'll plan on that
All
when they
right.
come out. Just tell me where I can watch them, and yeah, that's a good idea. It'll be a cool
Very
little
soon. 2 come out this
experiment.
month. Yeah.
All right, I'll be
All
on the
right.
lookout. Yeah, you know how to reach me.
Yes. All right. Thanks, everybody.
That's it. That's all. Hope you had a ball. Thank you, Frank, for coming on the podcast. Check out his music, the album coming out later this year. Check out his movie, Say Cheese. I don't have a free hand, or I'd confirm. But the link's in the show notes below, and it's free to watch on Tubi. Thanksgiving again, getting close to a wide release distribution. Stay tuned for that. The Last Ride. We are waiting on one festival that we don't want to release until after we know whether we're in there or not. So, Last Ride will be coming shortly after, continuing to win awards and nominations for both of those films. So, I would say they're worth watching. And if you're listening to the tail end of a Jeff Macolino podcast, Lord, I would think you would watch a Jeff Macolino film. All right. Cheers. Boom. It's over. Thanks for listening.
It was amazing. I loved it.
Be sure to come back for another great episode
I'm one wing away from Jeff Macolino.
of the Jeff Macolino Podcast.
How much time did you spend on thinking of the name of your podcast? You went just straight, that's my name, I'll add the word podcast to it.
Yup. See you next week.